Isn't he cute? My mum got him for me when she was in France, in Wales, beg your pardon. Seen him before. He's blue as well. Blue's my favourite colour. Sadly, the story I'm telling you today actually comes from a Welsh legend, and it's linked with the famous legend of King Arthur, which we all know is from Wales. But this story is kind of an origin story for one of the characters. It's in a famous Welsh book. I've learnt the story from a family friend, but I've been confirmed it is true, or at least it is in written documentation. The story is a weird one, but involves a very special wizard. You see, a long time ago, when Wales was very young and known as Albion, there was a huge amount of earthquakes in the area. The earthquakes were huge. They were causing terror everywhere, and there was no way of stopping it. As the earthquakes began to get worse, the people began to get desperate. They needed a way to control the earthquakes. Now, this was back during a time when druids were very popular. So, the priest of the druids came up with an idea to suggest to the king. He suggested that in order to please the earth gods, they would have to make a sacrifice. From one of the villages, they plucked a small boy and selected him to be the sacrifice. They got pretty far in the sacrifice through the preparations and was about to plunge the knife when the boy, who hadn't spoken throughout all of this, probably out of shock, finally spoke up. He suggested that he knew of a way to end the earthquakes. He had another suggestion. He suggested that the reason why the earthquakes were happening was because there were two dragons locked in combat underneath the earth. This was a red dragon and a white dragon. The red dragon and the white dragon was constantly fighting, and their fighting was causing the earthquakes. The boy suggested that if they released the dragon, the earthquakes would stop, regardless of which one of the dragons won. I'm a bit vague on what happened after this, because it was unknown at the time to the people I've spoken of as to what the outcome was. All I can tell you is that they did dig out the earth and supposedly released the two dragons, stopping the earthquakes altogether. But in doing so, there became the greatest mystery that I still need to solve to this day. What happened to the dragons? My theory is that one of the dragons perished, while the other went on to live on. Some say that both dragons were slaughtered by the knights in order to keep the peace. Others said the dragons flew away to lands unknown, and no one knows where they are. It could possibly be that one of the dragons, the red dragon for example, could be the exact same dragon that George fought in the legend of George and the Dragon. It's also possible that many other legends that involve dragons could be linked to this story. But I don't know myself. Like I said, I only know as far as they dug into the soil and released the dragons. There are some things in stories that are a complete mystery. Why don't you comment down below your theory of what happened to the dragons? I'm sure that would be quite entertaining. I've named my dragon Bluey, because he's a blue dragon. I think he's a water dragon, but he's cute. And on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you for now, but I'll see you again tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not as tired as I am today. I've had a long, hard day. Stay safe, everyone. Hope the quarantine goes well for everyone, and I'll see you when all this chaos blows over. Bye for now.